welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's video I will be sharing with you my rank and rate series, and today it will be for my Johanna Basford books. Now I do have 11 of her books in my collection. A couple of those books I have duplicates of, but I am just going to go with the main ones today. So what I will do is I will show you the pages that I have completed from it and from the books, if there are any. If not, we'll just have a look through a few pages together, and then I will show you my favourites from each book. Okay, so coming in at number 11 is Lost Ocean. This is a really lovely book, but the reason I have put this one in number 11 is because the tiny details. Normally I'm more than happy with a detailed page, that doesn't really bother me, but this takes it to a level where I feel like on some of the pages even fine liners are going to be a struggle, and I just find that quite off-putting. But yeah, this is Lost Ocean. It's, like I said, it's a lovely book. Let's just move those over a sec. There we go. It is lovely, and there are some really beautiful pages in here. But yeah, I just think on some of them the detail is just so fine. You know, there's still plenty enough pages in here that I would like to colour at some point, but it is by no means, you know, a Johanna book that I reach for very often. So the pages that I've coloured in here, there aren't that many, I'm afraid. Okay, so I've done this one. That was quite a while ago, but I do still like it. Yeah, there was one here, but as you can hear, I ruined the page. It was the skull and crossbones, and I had smudged pen and whatnot. It was a mess, and I tried fixing the background and doing things to cover up where I had smudged, and I was just making it worse. I got really annoyed, and I just glued the pages together. I thought I had done another one in here. Maybe not. I might be thinking of my original copy from years ago. But yeah, some of my favourite pages in this book are this one with the seahorses. I just think that is really lovely. I do think Johanna does some beautiful work when we've got these symmetrical designs. I just think they're really, really lovely. And even though we do have some fine details on this, I don't feel like it's too fine to get in there and colour with fine liners in some areas. But a lot of the spaces is plenty big enough to get into and be able to colour how I would like. Okay, another page that is a favourite is this one. I do really like this design, but yeah, again, this will probably have to be a gel pen and fine liner job with maybe some watercolours, or maybe even a little bit of pencil shading in the background in some areas. But I think this will primarily be fine liners, maybe some water-based markers and gel pens. I do also really like this one here. You will come to realise as we look through these books, I do seem to be quite drawn to the designs with the circular motif. But yeah, I think this will be a lot of fun. I would really like to do a watercolour base for the sea. on this one, but there is going to be a lot of fiddly little areas to get in behind, so I'd probably need a teeny tiny paintbrush for a lot of that. And then my favourite in the book is this page here. I did have this one coloured in my original, but a few years ago I used to have all of my Johanna Basford books on the top of one of the 3-tier carts, and our cat at the time, Merlin, he jumped onto the top of those books when they were on the trolley and he peed over them, and so the majority of my Johanna Basford books were ruined, so I did have to replace most of my collection. But I'm actually really happy to have the opportunity to colour this page again, because I enjoyed it so much the first time, and I feel like I could maybe do a better job with it now that I've got a little bit more experience of colouring under my belt. I do also really like the jellyfish page, but I think this is my absolute favourite of the complete book. So that is Lost Ocean. In 10th place is Secret Garden, and this kind of makes me a little bit sad because this was my first ever adult colouring book. So it's kind of sentimental. I mean, this is my, I think this is my my third copy, I think, this one. My first copy, I completed the majority of it, and it was all just done with Staedtler Tri-Plus fine liners because that was all I had at the time. After I'd finished working in the tattoo studio, that was the only art supply I had, and then my second copy was ruined by Merlin. I bought this one second hand from the lovely Susie a few years ago, and yeah, I do still really like this book, but it's in 10th because there's just more of Johanna's books that appeal to me more than what this one does, but this one is special for obvious reasons. So I've done a few in this book. It's a big double page spread. Shall I zoom out a smidge? That might be a little bit better. So this one did have some pencil work on it, but I erased it as best I could. And then I coloured this with fine liners and gel pens and some black paint marker. Don't know if you can see the shine there. I'm filming quite late at night, so I am using my overhead light, but I think you can maybe catch the shine and sparkle there. I really like the colour palette. It kind of gives me like 70s vibes. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, it's just beautiful. Her work is timeless, and I just feel like she's gotten better over the years. You will see that I've got some notes on some of these pages just for ideas that I have for them. Here is another one with that same colour palette, but just leaving out the orange on this one. So it was pink, purple and turquoise, which is another lovely one. That's a whip, so that's why I have a tag there. This one I coloured with you guys on the channel, and I still really like how this one turned out. I'm still really pleased with it. Again, it's that circular motif that just really seems to appeal to me, and it's not just in Johanna's books, it's kind of, you know, all of my colouring books. I really seem to like this, and I also draw circles for like backgrounds on a good majority of my Camellia Angel cover pages as well. But the videos for this should still be up on the channel. And I think the only other one I've done in this copy, yeah, is this one. I coloured the nameplate page and then I just erased, I used sort of correction tape over the name that was here, and I wrote my own. So some of my favourites from this one are this one of the hummingbirds. I just think that is so beautiful. I can just envision the colour palette, and yeah, I really look forward to coming and doing this one actually. So maybe this is something I need to sort of keep at the forefront of my mind to come and do this one. It's really, really beautiful. The next favourite is this big double page spread, and I just feel like this is such a beautiful and magical garden, and you could just really have a lot of fun. Florals are not my favourite thing to colour by a long shot, but the majority of this is leaves and foliage, and I'm good with that. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, I just think that is so lovely. Really, really pretty page. Another favourite is this one, and again, you may be able to see this did have quite a lot of pencil work on it here, and I've erased it as best as I can, but I would love to give this sort of like a watercolour background, a watercolour base, but sort of fade it out into the cream of the paper, and then use, you know, pencils, fine liners, gel pens, whatever sort of appeals at the time to colour this really beautiful sort of ribbon that comes across these two pages. The only thing that puts me off is here where it says fill the pond with fish, frogs and lily pads. I'm just going to ignore that writing. So yeah, just act as if that is not there. And then my favourite page in this book is this one. It is the owl page, and I think this is probably my all-time favourite, or if not maybe up there in my top 2 or 3 all-time favourite pages by Johanna Basford. I just think this is absolutely stunning, and as you can see, I've got a post-it note here with purple, blue and grey colour palette. It just kind of gives me an idea, but I just feel like this it deserves to be coloured. So that is Secret Garden at number 10. Okay, at number 9 is World of Flowers, and I recently repurchased this book. I did de-stash it quite some time ago because it just wasn't a book that I ever really reached for that often. Again, it's the main subject is florals, which just isn't, it's not my cup of tea. I will colour them, but if there's a lot on a page, it's just not something I enjoy to sit and colour lots of. But I realised after I de-stashed this book, I was actually missing having it in my collection. So I did repurchase this one very recently, which is why we have a little bit of washi tape up here, just to indicate when I look at my bookshelves that it is an untouched book. So I'll just show you a few pages in here. I think by now most of you are probably familiar with this book. It's really, really pretty. It's lovely. There's some gorgeous designs in here, and some pages that I do definitely want to colour. But it would probably be one that I work in once in a while, you know. But there are some stunning images in here, and I am glad to have another copy of it in my collection. In my original, I had coloured this. I had done all of the background black and used a limited palette on these individual vignettes of the succulents. But yeah, really lovely book. So some of my favourites in this one are this beautiful bottle here, and the reason I have this as a favourite is it reminds me of a bottle very similar that I bought for my gran years and years and years ago. from a sort of vintage shop, and it sort of had like a mother of pearl stopper in the top and some mother of pearl details on it, and then it had a butterfly like this, and then sort of like some leaves and kind of like swirly filigree effects on it. It was so pretty, and it was sort of like pale blues, pale lilacs, pink, and then like I said, it had mother of pearl effect on it, and it just reminds me of my gran. And so I would love to colour this in memory for her. Okay, another favourite is this one. I really like this, and I think this would be so pretty to do with watercolours, because we've got quite a lot of nice big spaces, you know, and the line art isn't too fine for the majority of it to be able to get in and base with watercolours and whatnot. So I just think this would be a really, really lovely page to do. Another favourite is this double page spread. I just think this is so lovely, and it's really whimsical, and again kind of like magical garden vibes, you know, like a fairy garden. I just think it's really, really pretty. We've got these lovely little dainty butterflies dotted around. You know, there is a few flowers, but I don't feel overwhelmed by them. I get more excited colouring foliage, to be honest. But I think this is beautiful, and I love the way that we have a framed border around it with sort of like these scalloped edges here at the top. I think it's really lovely. And what I also love is that Johanna has left the binding here. She's left the spine free of any line art, so we don't have to battle to get into these fiddly little areas to make sure the whole image is completely covered. So I really do appreciate that in any artist's books, to be honest. And then my favourite in the book is this one, the koi fish. I just think that is so beautiful. Yeah, and I've got a colour palette for this one in mind. But yeah, this page is stunning. I love koi fish. I do enjoy colouring water lilies. I really enjoy that, and so yeah, I think this is going to be a very enjoyable page to sit and colour. And I can definitely see some handmade watercolours going on this page as well to give it that extra magical shine and sparkle. So yeah, that definitely has to stay on my radar. It's gorgeous. So that is World of Flowers at number 9. In 8th place, I have Johanna's Christmas. This is a really lovely book. I will admit I was kind of debating which order to put this one and World of Flowers in. I kept kind of chopping and changing, so these could maybe both be joint 8th. But yeah, I just like the images we have in here. Yeah, I think Johanna's done a beautiful job. And the pages in this one, they are single-sided. So yeah, they're gorgeous. This book is perforated, which is something that I'm not a fan of. As you know, as some of you may be aware, if you've sort of seen or heard me talk about my mythographic books, that is what I don't like about those books, is the fact that they are perforated, because the pages do come loose. They tend to fall out after a while. But yeah, I haven't had any problems with this one so far, which is really good. But this is beautiful. Got some really lovely images in here. Yeah, this one has been coloured in, but I did get a replacement because I messed up my last copy, so I don't have much coloured in this one at all. But as you can see, there's just so many fun pages, and this has to be a go-to in the festive season. This is a page I coloured. I based it all with my Bic Intensity markers and then shaded with pencils. And then we've got some fine liner gel pen and a little bit of confetti here in some areas. And then I did put a Christmas sticker in the middle and some little snowflake embellishments glued on around as well. But yeah, this is just, it's a really fun book, and if this doesn't get you in the Christmas mood, I don't know what will. I think Johanna did a really good job with this one. This is the other page. So I coloured this one, and then I just added the writing in the middle myself. And again, I've just added a few stickers around the wreath just to add a little bit of shine and interest. I don't think I've coloured the nameplate. No, I haven't done the nameplate in this one. Okay, so some of my favourites are the gingerbread house. I love this. I just think that is so pretty. And we've got a nice amount of space around the house here in the background to be able to add, you know, some sort of a background if we so wish. And then I really like how it's framed with sweets and candy canes and lollies. I just think it's really, really lovely. Another favourite in the book is this double page spread. I just think this is absolutely beautiful, but the thing that puts me off on this page is all the open space in the background. Yeah, I don't think I would know what to do, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, maybe if I found some relatively plain washi tape, I could sort of add like stripes to make it look like wallpaper, maybe. I don't know. But I do think it's lovely. I think I prefer this side more than the tree, but it, as a whole, it is stunning. And I'm looking forward to practicing sort of colouring light and sort of how it would sort of hit the bottom of the stockings and the brickwork and things like that. That is something, again, I'm not good at, but I certainly need to practice. And then another favourite is the cuckoo clock, and for a long time this was my absolute favourite page in the book, and this is the reason why I replaced my last copy, because I was loving my page until I just didn't know when to stop, and I overdid it with the background and I ended up hating it. But yeah, I just think this is beautiful. I don't feel like it needs a background at all, although where I've kind of worked on backgrounds a little bit more, and I've sort of got some different techniques now, there are things that I now do that might work nicely on this. So I think we'll just wait and see until we get to that page. But yeah, my favourite in this book is this one here of the hair, and I can just imagine really beautiful sort of like icy colours for this, so like pale blues, icy sort of minty green aqua colours, and some sort of pale lilac, just some real sort of frosty vibes on this one, which I think will look gorgeous. So that is Johanna's Christmas at number 8. Yeah, number 8, Johanna's Christmas. At number 7, I have Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. I've coloured a few pages in this book, not many, but I've done a few. And yeah, this is Johanna's storybook, well, illustrated storybook, and it is such an absolute delight. It really is lovely. So I've done this double page spread and then used some Van Gogh washi tape. Done this one. I'm not going to spend too long showing you my completed pages because you would have seen them in my colouring book collection if you've watched that video. That includes my Johanna books. So yeah, I've got a few pages done. This is a whip. And this was a buddy colour with my beautiful best friend Tess. This has been a whip for years. Just haven't come back to it. Just some little motifs on that page. This one. That was a buddy colour with the lovely Imogen from Colouring Kid. I really like how my butterfly turned out. I think that's pretty. There's that one. Double page spread. This was a whip for a long time. I came in, I finished it, which made me really happy, but I look at it now and I'm like, it's not my favourite. And then I did the nameplate page. This book belongs to Emmy and Mummy, and I just coloured the vines here on that page. So some of my favourites in the book are this portrait of the magpie. So yeah, I just think that is such a gorgeous page. I really, really love it. I like how it's framed as well. And then I like this one here of the dragon. And I can just imagine, you know, adding some shiny watercolours or glitter gel pens, something down here to add some sparkle to the flames at the bottom. And then maybe like a handmade silver watercolour for the blade, that's it, the blade of the sword. I couldn't think of the name. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's too late. I also really love this double page spread as well, and I think these are pages like this are lovely to colour because you can just work on a little vignette at a time. You know, just concentrate on one little section at a time. You can jump around, and then before you know it, your pages will be complete. And then my favourite page in this book is actually quite a simple one, but I just love it. I would hope I could find it. There we go. Is this cherry blossom tree. I just think it is stunning, and I will be using my Albrecht Dürer for this because I know that I can create a really beautiful soft pink look with those pencils. I do just want to keep this page very, very soft, very muted, and not too fussy. Just let Johanna's artwork do the talking. So that is Ivy in the Inky Butterfly at number 7. At number 6, Small Victories. I will zoom in. Whoops, a bit too much. I will zoom in for this one. I think this book is an absolute delight, and this one has travelled to Scotland with me a few times as well because it is so portable, just to pop in a bag. It's fantastic. And I think, if I believe right, I have seen that Johanna is bringing out, I think it's called Inklings, or something very similar to this next year. So yeah, definitely have to keep an eye out for that one. So I've done a few in here. That's the end page. But I like the premise behind this one. You know, that you don't need to spend hours and hours working on like a big full page. You can just do little bite-sized things, which I think is really, really lovely. this is a whip. I haven't done hardly anything on it. It's just a bit of fine liner, but I will come back in and finish this one in the autumn. This is a whip as well. I just need to finish these other vignettes on the page. That would be perfect for Space Timber, wouldn't it? That one. I've done that one. That was just fine liners and gel pens. Really quick and easy. That one. I do want to pull these colours here over onto this page. This is my most recent finish. I really love how they turned out. I think they turned out really, really pretty. I especially love this one here at the bottom. And this one. So some of my favourite pages in the book are these two. I love these. This one with the individual trucks and this one with the butterfly. Do you know, I actually wouldn't mind using the same pastel colours that I used on those ducks on this page. I think it would suit that butterfly beautifully. I think that would look so pretty. So they are favourite pages. This is a favourite here, this little scene with the narwhal. And I love the scenes like this where you can see above land and then underwater. It's sort of like you've got two worlds for the price of one illustration, which I really do like. Okay, so that's a whip, that's a whip. Okay, and then my favourite in the book is this one here. I just think that is beautiful. Really, really lovely. It's not overwhelming for size. You've still got a nice bit of area to be able to add a background if you want to. I think with this one I would probably frame it in with some washi tape and just do a watercolour background. Just keep it quite simple. But yeah, I think that would look really, really lovely with that one. So that is number 6. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so that's number 6, Small Victories. At number 5, I have Magical Jungle. So I'm just going to zoom out a little smidge for this one. Okay, so Connor recently purchased me this one to replace my old copy. But yeah, we weren't aware that this was a pre-loved copy, but it's absolutely fine. Yeah, this is a really lovely book. I love the theme of this one. I think it is gorgeous, and there are so many pages in here that I want to colour. I don't think there's any pages that I don't want to, but there are 2 in the middle that just, for reasons that I have given in old videos, but I just don't feel able to come back to. Okay, so I have done this one. I'm really happy with that page. I apologise for the background noise, noisy motorbikes. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with that one. I think that's the only one I've got done in here at the moment. Is it? I think it is. Yeah. This is one of the pages that's had work done on it already. And they've used water-based markers, but really gone at it, you know, sort of gone over this a few times where it's pilled the paper so you can kind of feel the fibres of the paper there. So I've got a few things to cover or just try and work around, but that's okay. The other page that had been worked on was a toucan. I don't know. Yeah, it's in here somewhere, but that one? Yeah, this one. This had pencil colour on it. Sorry, coloured pencil on it. I've erased it as best I can, so I can work over it now. And then I was just trying out a Langro gel pen when I first got them to colour this border, and I love it. I love those pens. Okay, so let's have a look at some of my favourites. So I love these two pages, but I do really have a soft spot for this one. The tree growing out of the book. And obviously we've got our foliage and a couple of flowers as well. And then we've got a monkey and a parrot. I think that is so pretty. And again, it's got that really sort of magical and whimsical feel about it. Okay, another favourite are these. I just think these are lovely. And because there is so much open space in the background, I'm not bothered about backgrounds on these. I'm just going to colour those and leave them as are. I did have this one done in my previous copy and I really liked it. But I just think they're so cute. I really like designs like this. And then another favourite is this one with the chameleons. Again, we've got that symmetrical design, which I just think really does suit a lot of her work beautifully. And you can definitely have fun with colours on these guys as well. So I think that is going to be a really, really fun one to colour. And my favourite page in the book just so happens to be the toucan. I love that page. I love this one as well, the tiger. I think they are both absolutely stunning, but yeah, I love this one. I absolutely love it, and I think that is going to be such a joy to colour. I really do. I think that will be beautiful once it's all done. So that is Magical Jungle, and that is at number 5. So at number 4, I have Enchanted Forest, and for years this was my favourite Johanna Basford book. So it is very, very dear to me. I absolutely love it. And again, with my original copy, I did have a lot of it done. But yeah, this is just a gorgeous book. And then obviously we've got our pullouts at the back, which is just, yeah, fantastic. Okay, so I've coloured this one. It's quite an old one now, that page. But I had fun. I like the colour palette. That one is a whip. I think I started shading it with my Artex pencils when I first was sent them for a review, but I didn't track what colours I was using. But I'm sure I can figure that out. And this one. Really pretty colours on that one. These two, which I'm really proud of, especially the compass. I do really, really like that page. I've put a few rub-on transfers on here as well. And the same on this page as well, here in the corners. And then I've done the nameplate page. So some of my favourites of this book are this sort of toadstool here with the castle and the trees and things on the top. And then our lake here, our stream, is just sort of running over the edge. I really like that. I just think that is really imaginative. I think that's beautiful. Really, really gorgeous. And then this here is another favourite. I do love this one as well. They're gorgeous, but this one, oh, is beautiful. And I am going to colour the water on this one with watercolour pencils. And I want to try to not shade it with pencils if I can. And then just save my pencil work for like the rocks. So yeah, that is gorgeous. And then this big double page spread is another favourite. I can just imagine this all done and looking amazing. It is definitely definitely an undertaking, but I think once it's done it will just look incredible. And you could have so much fun with, you know, the sort of effect you want for your background sky as well. Okay, and then my favourite in this one is the owl, again in this book. I just think it's beautiful, and you will see, I think it's in Worlds of Wonder, I've coloured an owl in that book, and I love the colour palette so much. I think I want to use it on this one as well, but maybe swap out a colour for something different, just to give it a little bit of a different vibe. But yeah, you will see that page in a little while. So that is Enchanted Forest. Okay, and then in third place we have Rooms of Wonder. This was a bit of a surprise. You know, I was debating putting this behind Enchanted Forest, but as I looked at them both, I was like, actually, I really love this book. It's beautiful. So this is my disaster page. I love the cake and all the inside, but the background, oh my gosh. I do have a second copy of this book, but that's because I love this book. So I don't know if you guys do that, but any books in your collection that are sort of, you know, you absolutely love and you would be more than happy to colour the pages more than once, I do like to get a second copy of those. And also illustrators that are my absolute favourite. But yeah, I love that. Just I don't know, maybe I could like collage over it or something, I don't know. But anywho, let's just swiftly move on from that one. But yeah, this book is beautiful, and I would be happy to colour every single page. There's a few that I'm a bit like, you know, they're cute, but you know, I wouldn't be in a rush to colour this one. I would still colour it, it's cute, but you know, it wouldn't be up there on my list to sort of rush to first. And then I have made a start on this one. I actually started this one before the cake page, and yeah, I haven't come back to it. I've got a good chunk of it done, and I do like the pale pink that I'm using in the background. They are my Black Widow pencils. And I wanted this room to have a pink and turquoise colour theme. I wish in hindsight I had done the desk with this beautiful turquoise colour, or maybe even sort of like a washed bluey grey colour. You know, I just think that would have maybe looked nicer with my other choice of colours apart from brown. But here we are. Yeah, I'll come back to it at some point, but I'm not sure when. But I do like it, and like I said, this book is wonderful. And then I've got these two. I started shading the background on this one, and then I was just like, oh no, I'm not doing that. I'm not shading behind all these little fiddly bits. It's just going to take forever. So I gave up, and I'm calling these done. And I have done the nameplate page as well. So some of my favourites in this book is this big double page spread. I'm kind of noticing that I'm really drawn to sort of aquatic themed pages as well. So yeah, I think this is so much fun and will look incredible once it's all done. Yeah, Oh, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And we've got all these pipes and other little bits that come off of the main tanks, and it's just a whole heap of fun. And you could, again, with sort of like some of the smaller vignettes that I showed you in Ivy and the Ink and Butterfly, you could concentrate on like one tank at a time, and do that if you find that easier. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love that. These two are also some of my absolute favourites in any of Johanna's books. I think they are stunning. So we've got our potions cabinet here, but they've got, not potions, oh my goodness, they're kind of like potion bottles, but they've got sort of like planets and stars and the moon and all, all sort of astronomy stuff in them. Just, yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. And then this one here, which I've seen coloured so many times. And yeah, I never failed to be blown away by people's work. So inspiring. Yeah, I would love to colour this. But that would definitely be a slow burner of a page, I think. But still, it is incredible, isn't it? And then this one here of the vanity table. Again, this it reminds me of my gran. And so anything that sort of has significance to me or brings back memories, or just anything that reminds me of someone is definitely a special page, and this is definitely one of those. And this one to go along with it as well. My gran, when I was little, she used to let me go through her jewellery box and sort of play with her clip-on earrings, and I just have the most incredible memories with my gran. And so these are some really, really special pages to me as well. So I think that tag, yeah, that was that whip, wasn't it? Okay, and my favourite pages in the book are these two. I couldn't choose between one or the other, so I'm just going to say they are both my favourites. I have made a very tiny star on this page in my second copy. I've just coloured two of these leaves here. That's it. But yeah, I'm excited to go back to that page and sort of chip away at it. But I think they're beautiful, and Johanna really has stepped it up a notch with her more recent work. I just think she is spoiling us, and her work has gone to a whole new level, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And I really do feel like she spoils us with her work, and she has done since the very beginning. But I think as consumers of her work, it's also really inspiring and just an absolute joy to see how her work has developed and evolved over the years. Excuse me. So yeah, they are incredible pages. Absolutely beautiful. So that is Rooms of Wonder in third place. Second place, and this was difficult to choose between these two books, but second place has gone to Worlds of Wonder, and I love this book. I have coloured the most in this book than any Johanna Basford book I have in my collection at the moment. I do have a second copy of this one because I do plan on completing this copy and working in my other one, because there are definitely some pages in here that I need to do over because I'm not happy with them in this copy. But this is just, oh, I cannot praise these books enough. I really can't. So this is a whip. And that one. That was my first page that I completed in the book. And I still love how it turned out. I just wish I didn't outline my clouds with the white, but that's okay. At the time, I just wanted to give them a bit of definition. This is a work in progress. Again, you've got stamps. It's like individual little vignettes, so you can just colour one as and when you feel like it. This big double page spread. This was a colour along on my channel quite a long time ago. And I think we got up to part 5. So we'd done 5 parts and I didn't come back to it. But this is one that I do definitely want to get finished because I'm really happy with how it's coming along. But I do need to rework the leaves down here because they just don't look like they have much in the way of blending and shading. It did have, but it seems to have kind of, I don't know, the colours seem to have kind of faded quite a bit and I don't understand why, but it's okay. This one has been started with just some watercolours there. This one was a buddy colour with my beautiful best friend Tess. And because I had quite a few colours going on this one, I didn't want to overwhelm it with a background and I couldn't decide. So I thought, if I can't decide, I'm just going to leave it and let the mushroom speak for itself. Okay, this is the owl I was referring to. This was a buddy colour with my beautiful friend Dana from Dana's Colouring Obsession. And yeah, I really like it. We had this circle here was already drawn behind the owl, and then I added this one and then this one. Back then I thought I had overdone it with the black, but you know, now I think it actually ties in quite nicely, especially with these black jelly roll glaze elements that I've got on the lower part of the page. I love the colours on this one, and these are the colours I want to use in Enchanted Forest, but maybe swap out either the blue or the yellow for a different colour. But definitely keep the turquoise because I love that. It's my favourite colour. I drew the circle on this one just to give those a bit of a background, and I added some Nouveau confetti stars. I don't like this page. I love the artwork. I don't like how I coloured it. And I messed up the background here with Distress inks. I just, yeah, came out too dark, too splotchy, and it was before I had, well, I'm not very good with the blenders that are like the wooden handles with the circular pads on with like they attach with the Velcro. I can't seem to get my blending done well with those. So I have the soft makeup brushes, the really, really soft ones. I have those now. But yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't keen on that one. These two. I coloured this one whilst watching Girl on the Train. I prefer the book, but at least I can say I've seen the movie. This was just fine liners and a little bit of pencil and gel pen. That one, love that, but I don't like the background. And that is an abandoned page. I had an idea and it just was not turning out. Maybe someday I'll revisit it, but right now I'm leaving that one. I've done these two. And the title page and this little inside flap there. So there's quite a bit done in this one. And then some of my favourites are this double page spread. Again, We've got that underwater theme going on. I love it. I prefer this side to this one, but I love the big fish here. This tower. We've got a glass jar with a little ship in the bottle. I do like these fish up here, sort of like angel fish. I love those. I think they're really, really lovely. You could definitely have a lot of fun on that double page spread. These two are stunning, absolutely gorgeous. I'm not too sure. I kind of want to say this is a moth, just because we've got the indication of kind of like fuzzy edges. But I could be wrong. It could be a butterfly, but I'm going to colour it like a moth. You know, I really want to lean into those neutral colours for this. And then do something completely opposite with this one. Yeah, I think they're beautiful. And then I also adore this page here. I love it. I've always, whenever I look through this book, I always come back to this illustration. So maybe this might be the next one that I need to come in and colour. You know, in this book, because I love that. I think it's gorgeous. Okay, now I've got quite a few whips in here, so I need to see. I think this is the flag for my favourite. Yeah, it is. And my favourite is this one. It's sort of like a little teepee. You've got like a little tea set here and some cake. Some really comfy cushions, and then we've got lanterns outside. I just think that is beautiful. I love that one. So that is Worlds of Wonder in second place, which means that in first place I have Magical Worlds, and this book has just captured my heart. It really has. It's just incredible. And I've done a few pages in here so far, which I'm really happy with, actually. I'm really happy with the progress I've made. So this was a buddy colour with Polly, and that one was completed last month. And that was completed in July. Again, I will link Polly's channel in the description for you. I was working on this one at the same time, but I didn't get it finished. So I was working on this yesterday. I don't have too much left to do. It's getting there. It's getting there, slowly but surely. So I've got those done. This was the first page I completed in the book, and I still love it. I think I finished this one in January. That one. Just try and get the tracing paper to sit back in there nicely. And then I've done this one. This was a buddy colour with the lovely Claire on Instagram. That was the second page I finished in the book. Really, really sweet. I like the limited palette on that one as well. And I have recently completed a buddy colour page in here with Dana. It wasn't this one. This was just really quick and simple. Did I get this finished for Pride? Possibly. I just divided the page into 7 sections and just used my Staedtler Tri Plus fine liners for that one. Yeah, this is my page for August with Dana from Dana's Colouring Obsession. I'm not going to stay on that page too long because you will see that in my completed pages video for August. But this book is an absolute pleasure, and there's not a single page that I don't want to colour. We've got our Lunar Moth here, gorgeous. Okay, so I do have a few favourite pages in this book. I would call it a double page spread. They kind of, you know, they go hand in hand and they are symmetrical with the exception of the centre image. But the borders, this is all symmetrical. I think it's stunning. Love those. Absolutely love it. Definitely a lot to sink your teeth into and keep you busy. Okay, that's the completed page for August. I love these two pages. This of the Candyland is so much up my street to colour. I'm really excited for that. And look at these baby dragons. Oh my gosh. Every time I look at them, I'm like, oh, come on. They are too cute. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I love them. So cute. Okay, another favourite is this swan. I mean, just look at how stunning that is. Absolutely beautiful. And I do think I would be tempted to use those really soft pastel colours that I used on the two ducks in the Small Victories book. I think that would look so pretty on her. But maybe even knock that colour back even more, so we have like just a slight hint of those colours. But you can see they're there, but you know, sort of blended out with a lot of white. So really kind of, you know, tone down those pastels even further. These are favourites as well, these two. It's hard to choose between one or the other, so again, I'm spoiling myself in choosing two. I just think they're gorgeous. They are really, really beautiful. And then my absolute favourite is this rabbit here. I think that is so unbelievably beautiful. You know, we've got this big circular motif, which again I'm a sucker for, but you know, the rabbit, the foliage, these mushrooms down here, these toadstools, yeah, it's just really whimsical and I adore it. There's just nothing at all not to love. So that is it, my loves. That is my rank and rate for my Johanna Basford books. I really hope that you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join me. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, stay safe, my loves, and I will see you in the next one. Lots of love. Bye.